Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan, guys. My name is Dr. Zaman. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Enjoying yourselves. Friday again, guys. Look how fast the week has zoomed by. Right, so let's go on to TikTok. Give me a second, guys. So, can you guys hear? Is the sound working? I hope so. Inshallah. So, welcome, guys, again. Welcome to the live stream. And I usually have a live stream on Friday this time and on Saturday about 10ish. So let's go live on here. So welcome everybody. It's been a mashallah very, very nice week. Eid, we had Eid, mashallah. Hope all of your Eids went well. Hope you guys had fantastic time. And it was also back to normal reality, back to work as usual, mundane work schedules back, alhamdulillah. But mashallah, my work is good. I teach, so can't complain about that, alhamdulillah. What do you guys, how have you guys been? What's the latest with you guys? How was your Eid? Which day did you do Eid on? That's the most important question that's on everyone's minds. Abdul Kabir, alaikum assalam. What advice would you give for a person to stop committing major sins? So it depends what kind of sin it is. Right? If it's a sin that's a sin that you'd commit on your own in private, when no one's there, then make sure you try to always stay around people. That would be the best thing. And if it's a sin that's to do with people, try to stay away from them. Right? So all sins are not the same. There are different kind of sins that people might be involved in. Wa alaikum assalam, Abu Bakr, ahlan wa sahlan. Is a person sinful for looking at another man's aura even if there's no intention in it? Yes, it's sinful. Assalamu alaikum, Farhan. How have you been? Alhamdulillah, I'm very good. Today I'm having this strange tea. I don't know what tea is. I just picked it up from downstairs. I can't remember. I think it's lavender. Yeah, it smells a bit like lavender. I think it's a lavender tea. Some of the teas I've even forgotten what they are. So it looks like lavender tea. Welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan, everybody. Welcome to people on TikTok as well. Welcome to all of you. So yeah, so back to usual, guys. The week routine is back. Alhamdulillah. And inshallah, next week, the videos will be coming back as well, inshallah. So I'll be putting up the normal videos I put up normally on Mondays, learning how to read the Quran on Wednesdays. There's going to be poetry, inshallah. Thursdays is going to be Mukhtasar al-Quduri, then Fridays and Saturdays this. And then in between, I'm also putting up other reminders as well, inshallah. And some of the AI podcasts that I've been experimenting with as well. Let me know what you guys think. I'm still trying to tweak the voice. But let me know what you guys think. I think some of them are quite useful. Some nice discussions. For some reason, people like listening to podcasts and these kind of things sometimes more than they like listening to a bayan, because it has a different effect. Your mind functions in a different way. Because the thing you have to remember is, when people are speaking to you, people's brain reacts in different ways. So if you listen to a bayan, a talk, depending on what kind of talk it is, certain parts of your brain will light up. And if you are listening to a talk which is more of a dars, then certain other parts will light up. So it's why it's interesting when it comes to these kind of discussions of how people give talks and all that. There's so many techniques that you have to adopt to try and make your talk more impactful. For example, I watch UFC, WWE where the aura isn't covered. Yeah, you shouldn't watch that. You should not watch that. Imam Nawawi's Majmu' Sharh Muhadhab, is this the name of the matan, or is there a book actually called Muhadhab? Yeah. So Muhadhab is the original Imam Shirazi's book. I'm not sure if it has another name, but Muhadhab is what it's known for. Anonymous, Junaid Mubarak to you, my brother. Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. Yeah, so mashallah, the weather's coming back now. Alhamdulillah, nice hot weather this week has been. As you can tell from my face as well, See the tan marks. I've been walking, mashallah. So my steps today I've done 9,200 steps so far. 9,200. Welcome to the people on TikTok. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. Hope you guys are having a fantastic time. How do you know if you're possessed? I have no idea. I mean, I guess it's like, how do you know you're ill? There's symptoms, isn't it? So if you're getting some symptoms and you feel as though this is strange, get yourself tested out. Test yourself, and inshallah, then you will know. Otherwise, I don't think there's any sort of like, there's anything which is concrete to say that you're possessed or not. Unless you're going around crazy, doing roly-polies and somersaults in the middle of the motorway. Muhammad Khan, during Jummah khutbah or the Eid khutbah, when the Prophet ﷺ name is mentioned, should we say ﷺ? So you say silently in your heart. Say in your heart silently. Have you got any good notes on the best Arabic curriculum? Notes as in a curriculum that you should use. I mean, I have my own sort of idea of what the curriculum should be, but the main thing about any curriculum, guys, remember this, is the teachers. The teachers make a massive difference to all of this, right? So the teachers, if the teacher is very, very good, I mean, you can have literally any syllabus, but it's about the teachers. I think a lot of people fail too. Muhtadi said, wa alaikum assalam, mashallah, my brother. Yes, Muhtadi, Mr. Muhtadi Saab. Reels, wa alaikum assalam. Jim Buddy, wa alaikum assalam. Lovely one, Jummah khutbah today. You're welcome, my brother, you're welcome. So today I had a talk at Saddam Hussein Mosque. And inshallah, I'll recorded the talk, so I'll upload it onto my Telegram for those of you guys who want to listen to it, inshallah. You're welcome, my brother Jim. How do you repay a debt to a person who has passed away and he was a Christian? So you give it to his family. So you find out his family and you give it to them. Where have I studied? I've studied in Karachi. 9 years I studied in Karachi Islamic Sciences, which includes Arabic grammar and Sarf and Nahu and all that. Is watching things where men and women are mixing and there's music. A person should avoid that kind of stuff, especially if the women are uncovered. Is there any sharh you'd recommend for Al-Hidayah in particular to be able to read Radd al-Muhtar after? I mean, so Radd al-Muhtar is a bit advanced. I would not recommend someone to read Radd al-Muhtar on their own. I would recommend them, first of all, to read chapters of it with a teacher, because you need to understand the way that he's written the book. Right? So it's very important to understand the book, the way the book is written. So if you don't understand the way the book is written, you are going to struggle a lot. It's just gonna make yourself. But if you get a teacher and you go through it with them, a few chapters, that's it. The rest of it you can read on your own. For Hidayah, I'd probably recommend for easy person something like Binaya, Inaya. Yeah, Fath al-Qadir, you should try to be able to have a go at Fath al-Qadir as well. Maybe you can read Badai Sanai. So leave Hidayah, go to Badai Sanai. That's going to be more easily. When doing sujood in Salah, if my forehead is covered by my hair, so my hair touches the ground and my forehead doesn't, is valid. That's valid. Can we have kana yakunu next to each other in one sentence? If so, how should we translate it? Probably. Kana yakunu, he used to be. He used to be. He had no family after he passed away. Subhanallah. And put down the read a science book and read a science book. I've read science books. I've done A-level science, my brother. TJ. I left my girl for Islam and things have never felt worse. Any help? Inshallah, have sabr. Look for an alternative, halal alternative, inshallah. Allah will give you. If a person gave up pork for the sake of Islam, then they should try and oh, mashallah, now I know who Jim Buddy is. All right, Jim Buddy, mashallah. My brother Jim Buddy, yes. He's a very good friend. What's the ruling on free mixing with female cousins? So what do you mean by free mixing? Do you mean kissing them, hugging them? That's totally not allowed. You can't do that. Do you mean sitting in the same room as them? That's okay, as long as they are appropriately covered. Can I perform sujood in salah with gloves on? Yes. Did you study in the same place as Sheikh Abdul Nasir Jangda? No. I studied in a place called Jamiatul Ulum al-Islamiyah, Banuri town. How would the rows be arranged in salah if there are two adult males, one of them being the imam and the other being the follower, and one 7-year-old boy who is also a follower? Yeah, so in a normal salat, if you're praying a normal salat, you have the imam at the front and the adult and the child next to each other. Yeah. Can someone who completes part-time Alimiya join your iftar program? I mean, it depends how they need to be very good in Arabic. That's the thing. Unfortunately, a lot of people do join the iftar course, but they drop out. And the probably biggest reason is because they can't read Arabic text on their own, because there's a lot of self-study you have to do. So I would, as long as you can read Arabic on your own and you're comfortable with that, you shouldn't have a problem. How do you deal with depression? You need to go to a doctor. Maulanas do not have the cure to depression, just like Maulanas do not have the cure to anxiety or to cancer or to a broken leg. You gotta go to an expert. I'm not making fun of anyone, honestly. Don't expect a sheikh or Maulana to come out with remedies that this was a doctor. What do you think of Sheikh Asrar Rashid? I haven't met him, alhamdulillah. I mean, he's at the moment he's doing some very good community work with cleaning up the rubbish on the streets. Can you send the link of the video explaining Sajda Sahu? Okay, so Sajda Sahu. Where is it? Ya Allah. Say I missed 3 rakats dhuhr. How do I make it up? And would I stand up pray? Yeah, so I'll send you a video, my brother. Ya Allah, hasbunallah, ni'mal wakeel. By the way, where did you do iftar? I did my iftar with my teacher, Mufti Thaqibuddin, in a place called Jami'a Tayyiba. This I need a fatwa. Suhoor ended 4:58 today. I put food in my mouth at 4:57 and 58 seconds. Swallowed the food probably just after. Inshallah, should be fine. Inshallah. Inshallah. Just talking to them. Yeah, talking to them is fine. You can talk to the opposite gender, guys. Talking to the opposite gender is not haram. Sahaba talk to the opposite gender. Thoughts on Sheikh Djibouti? I don't know who that is. Do you have Telegram channel as well? Yes. Salam alaikum, Sheikh. What is the opinion on vape? So what I would say is the opinion on vape is the same as the opinion on cigarettes. If it's going to harm your body, you are not allowed to take it. So what I would do is ask your doctor. Your doctor knows your health better than anyone. Ask them, say, if I was to take vape and if I was to vape this many times, what would you say? If he says to you it's extremely bad for you, then you're not allowed to. Would you say it's haram to trim your beard if it's less than a fist? Not necessarily, no. The difference of the opinion is some say it's makruh tahrimi, as in sinful, and some say it's not sinful. That's the difference between the two positions. What are the conditions for mahar? When does it need to be specified and when does it? So it needs to be specified at the time of the contract. And it can be any amount that the woman's happy with, so long as it's a reasonable amount. I borrowed a book from school and now I don't go to that school. I almost can't give the book back. Would give the book to charity. Do you have any recommendations for Arabic programs online or institutes? I don't know, I'm not sure. I mean, As-Sufa has an online Alimiya course. So if that's what you're after. So what's the opinion on if you are leading Jamaat with wife, should she stand directly behind? So long as her feet are behind your feet, as long as her toes are behind your heels, you can say. That's the main thing. So the one adult follower and one 7-year-old follower would have their own row, and the Imam would be at the front. Yes. How far behind the Imam must I be for a prayer to be valid? As long as your heels are behind the Imam's heels. How many days does a person need to be in a place for him to pray qasr the whole time? So long as he hasn't made a firm intention that he's staying there for 15 days. So once he makes an intention that he's going to stay that same location for 15 days or more, then he has to pray the full salat. About missed rakats, if we join in the second rakat in Asr, then would that be considered our first rakat? No, that's considered your second, third, fourth. When you get up, that's considered your first. I started Fajr Salah and I finished at sunrise time. I'm not sure when exactly I completed the Shahud. No, inshallah, you won't have to. Amjad Ilahi wa alaikum assalam, my brother. Welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. Long time, my brother Amjad. Make special dua for my brother Amjad, guys. Allah puts barakah in his time, his effort, saves him from calamities, difficulties, bad health. Yeah, so basically that's been the latest, guys, with me, alhamdulillah. I'm going to be, inshallah, doing a course in June at Sufa on the rise and fall of Muslims, inshallah. Rise and fall of Muslims. I've started preparing for it, inshallah. I'm going to primarily base it off the book I keep telling you guys about. Mada khasir al-alam. What did the world lose because of the decline of the Muslims? Inshallah, I'm going to be doing that, inshallah. Yeah, so I'm going to plan it properly, inshallah. I'm going to add extra things to it as well. So I'll show you historically how the situation was before Islam in the world, what Islam contributed and how Islam spread, and then how the downfall came and the problems. Do you still have your Arabic course going on? Yes, it's a pre-recorded course. I have an Arabic course, pre-recorded Quranic Arabic course, inshallah, and it's pre-recorded. £50 the course is, 17 lessons, and you basically get into understanding how to translate the Quran. That's what it gets you into. Ya Allah. So anyone who wants to do it, just contact me, inshallah. And inshallah, I should give you some details on the course, inshallah. Wa alaikum assalam, anonymous, ahlan wa sahlan. How good is it? I mean, I've been teaching it for like about 10 years now, alhamdulillah. And I've got maybe thousands of people have done it. Maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people. Can't remember how many. And every year, so far I teach it. And then lots of people have benefited, mashallah. Some have actually gone to become alims as well. After, obviously, not just with that course, but later on developing it. I would recommend it to anyone who finds Arabic grammar difficult and really wants to get to understand how the grammar applies to Quran and how we can translate. I would definitely recommend it for them. Will you be starting any online class courses? Not at the moment. The book has the aura of a cartoon man on the cover. Do I still give it to charity? Yes. Wa alaikum assalam. Do I need to do qadha for salah I would have missed between puberty? I don't remember what age, till about 18. I'm now in my 40s. So I would say start from the age of 15. So from the age of 15 and slowly make your work bit by bit, making up the salats. Is having sukoon in every position of salah wajib? So pause, yeah. So a pause in ruku and sujood is necessary. Ruku and sujood and also standing up and sitting up. So ruku, pause. Standing up, pause. Sujood, pause. Sitting up, pause. Sheikh, what is the purpose of mahar? And if it's the protection of woman, is the Fatima mahar enough? So no, the Fatima mahar is not enough. The Fatima mahar, I don't know, Asian people just like this Fatima mahar and just want to give Fatima mahar to everything. Of course, the woman needs to be, she needs to look at her situation as well. So I would definitely say this: women should really think about their mahar, but not ask for exorbitant amounts of mahar. Right? So you ask for a mahar, which is going to be something that's going to help you in life. If the idea of mahar is, if the marriage doesn't work out and the woman needs to survive for a little while before she can get married again, then there's something there that can help her. Yeah. So I would say women should look at what would be the norm in that particular society. I like your post on Facebook about shorty students. You like that one, yeah? These kind of posts, it just comes to our mind. And I think to myself, okay, let me write it down. Otherwise, it's just a fleeting thought. That's all it is. I wasn't supposed to write that. I was supposed to do some work, right? But I don't know. Oh, by the way, I have been going through some books as well. So, mashallah, one of the books that I would definitely recommend if anybody is really interested in, is a book by Professor Abdul Halim. Yeah, it's called Understanding the Quran. Yeah, Themes and Style. So Professor Abdul Halim, very nice book. Anyone who wants to get into understanding how the Quran works, and certain objections that certain people make against certain ayats, very, very nicely written. Honestly, I would definitely recommend that. That's one book. Another book is The Scriptural Integrity of Isnad. So this is a book. So there's a guy called Ahmad Sanobar, Sheikh Ahmad Sanobar, and he has written a book called Min al-Nabi ila al-Bukhari. Right. So this is like this whole concept of hadith preservation and critiquing narrators and all that. Was it something that was just, made up, or is there real reality behind it? And honestly, it's probably one of the best books I've actually read on the topic of history of hadith. So if anyone is interested in the history of hadith, I would definitely recommend that book. So Ahmad Sanobar, that's one. And another book that I'm going through is a book it's called Usul al Madhhab al Imamiyah. So it's a 3-volume book. It's about the Shia, the Shia Aqidah. So the usul that they use in their Aqidah and in their principles of their, right? And it's a very, like, inshallah, once I finish it, inshallah, I'm going to try to write some things upon it, maybe, inshallah, just to give people an understanding of different types of Shia out there, and there's certain things that they've written in their books and confusions, etc. No, they are good as it clears. Many students just want to pass through the system. Yeah, unfortunately, that's the situation with a lot of students. It's just, I don't know. I mean, very few students you'll have who actually have passion to study and learn more. I remember once there was a student and he asked me, can you teach me Aqidah? So I said, okay. And I went into a lot of detail in Aqidah, but then I think he got a bit bored. So sometimes what happens is, maybe it's my fault as well. Maybe I don't look at the students, level, and then maybe I think to myself, maybe I need to teach it at this level, but it's a bit too much for them. So that's one of the issues. وعليكم السلام YNZ أهلا وسهلا from Afghanistan. Sanga alde خیریت چطوره خوب است Ya Allah. The main book Usul al-Kafi. So they have 4 main books and they have 4 subsidiary books or secondary books. Right, so 8 books altogether. There's 4 main ones they have. One of them is Usul al-Kafi. Wa alaikum assalam. Jazakallah khair for the book. I'll check Professor Abdul Halim's book. You're welcome. It's a very very, very good book. I would definitely recommend it. Because he's got a lot of experience in translating the Quran. So he's got a very good insight as well. Can we invest it to an ISA? As long as the ISA is a halal ISA. Yeah, as long as it's a halal one. Would you say the 12 Shias who are aware of their beliefs are out of the fold of Islam? Um, Not necessarily. See, the problem. I think the problem with people when they look at the Shia is this. So something someone has written does not necessarily mean that reflects all of the Shia. Similarly, imagine someone from outside, like a non-Muslim, was to read some of the things that some Muslims have written. It doesn't necessarily reflect that is something which all of them hold. That's the thing. So you might have extremist 12 Shias who come out with very absurd things. That doesn't necessarily mean that everyone else holds that. So I think that's the biggest issue. Standard UK bank, yeah, no. ISAs, no. Because most of them are invest into haram investments. What's the opinion within the Hanafi madhab regarding women praying congregations allowed, permissible? The issue is going to congregation. If there is a very strong chance that they'll be attacked or harmed or anything like that, then it's considered makruh for them to go. Ya Allah. If you've missed a line in the past, is it compulsory to pray them back? Because yes. Yeah, so you estimate how much. Can we speak when you finish? I'll do it, Ustaz. How was Eid? So not today, unfortunately. Today I have some things on. Maybe tomorrow, inshallah. Alaikum assalam. Saifuddin, fantastic course. I recommend it for new starters. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. MashaAllah. I was in India and the Jummah bayan was about the beard and haircut, and the Imam said it's haram to trim beard less than. Yeah, I don't know. Allah Alam. Good on him. If my heels were just behind the heels of the Imam and one of my heels goes in front, no, then it's fine. Is it possible that there be fiqh opinions that have reached up from the Imams but the hadith proofs have not reached us? Of course, definitely. And in that case, is it possible for the opinion to be followed if the proof for the following isn't known? Yeah. How much time must we have sukoon in each for at least one subhanallah? Does pausing in each position also mean that we don't say anything whilst paused? Do you think it's possible to truly be able to read the complete with one book? I feel like it became easier to read Nahu after practicing other Nahu books. Of course, yes, definitely. How do you really and truly actually know the accuracy of hadith narrators? How do you know the books of the books of the books? So what I would recommend to you is the book that I mentioned to you. Yeah, obviously in 2 minutes I can't explain this whole concept. And if a person has no understanding of what a narration is and what a narrator is and how does a narrator test whether the narration is correct or not, it's a very vast. What I would recommend, Abs, is to do a Usul Hadith course. You'll get a better understanding. And that book that I mentioned to you by Ahmad Sanobar is very, very good. Also, is Salah valid behind an Imam who recites Dad, Za? Yes, it's valid. Do you have to read out loud? Because I read faster side. No, you don't have to read out loud. What's the difference between Sadaqah and Lillah? Sadaqah is usually if there is like a niyyah of getting reward. So you intend like getting some specific reward. And Lillah is just generally. You want to get specific reward of Sadaqah, then it's called Sadaqah. So Sadaqah, they call this Sadaqah is basically a gift where there's intention behind it. And everything else would be Lillah. I've started to read free reading, but I don't try to get perfect understanding like ulum, just trying to. Excellent, very good. Is there a point in your learning where you can stop reading out loud so you can get a faster reading level? Of course. Alhamdulillah. Once your reading level gets good, I mean, you can just scan through it. You craving a steak medium rare? Yes, my brother. Alhamdulillah, always. Why would it be allowed to follow the ruling if we don't know the basis for it? That's what taqleed is. So that's what taqleed is. That's what we call taqleed. Does pausing in each position of salah also mean that we don't say anything while paused? No, you can say it or you don't say it. As long as you do the pause, that's it. In ulum, I often see people going from Quduri to Al-Hidayah. Will their understanding be limited? I mean, again, it all depends on the teacher, honestly. It all depends on the teacher. Yeah. Women, leading congregation with themselves, yes, they can lead congregation with themselves. So now, what do you do when people tell you it's too late and no need to have hope in Allah? Give them a slap in their face. Always, Allah's doors are always open. Alhamdulillah, there's always hope in Allah. What's the ruling on kissing the Quran? It's permissible, no problem. Where's in Saudi did it out of honor of the Quran? Guy next to me went crazy. Yeah, that's fine. In Saudi you get all sorts of people. Peace. Is fade haram? Fade as in haircut? No, it's not haram. How do you know when you can stop reading out loud when practicing Arabic reading? I mean, I don't know why you're reading out loud for. Reading out loud would only be beneficial if you want to improve your pronunciation skills, articulation. Muhammad Amir, alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan my brother. Assalamu alaikum. दिमाग को कंट्रोल रखने के लिए क्या क्या चीज़ें ज़रूरी हैं? अल्लाह आलम. आप बेसिकली आप डॉक्टरों से पूछ लें, मौलियों के पास इसका जवाब नहीं होता है. Do you any websites where I can find bayan from Akhi Ayman? No idea. What about salah behind imam who reads dad? Yes, it's permissible. Alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan my brother Muhammad, ahlan wa sahlan. Is fade makruh? No, it's not, my brother. It's permissible. You can have a fade haircut. I've been following you for a long time. Alhamdulillah, SS. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. You're welcome. Jazakallah khair. I hope you'll be making special du'as for me in Ramadan. Can Isha Salah be prayed after midnight? Yes, it can be prayed. But if there is no reason for it, the scholars say it's considered to be disliked for delaying it so long. Ya Allah. Hasbunallah. Qaza haircut according to the Hanafi madhab means you shave your whole head and you leave the size of 3 fingers. I think I'm going to have to do it for you guys just to show you guys what a qaza haircut is. Just for research purposes, yeah? I'll shave my whole head and leave 3 and I'll show you guys this is what qaza haircut is. So that's what Hanafi say, that's what qaza haircut is. Yeah. Or it's the Jews' locks, the Jews that leave the locks on the side, they shave their head and they leave their locks. They say that. I think every week I'm going to get birthdays and haircut. What else do you guys newcomers normally ask? What does it mean when I listen to Ruqya, my right side hurts? I have no idea. I'm not an expert in Ruqya, unfortunately, guys, so I wouldn't be able to give you an answer to that. It's best to ask someone who's a Raqi, an Amil, someone who deals with these kind of things. What's your name? My name is Liaqat Zaman. Liaqat Zaman. How did Ramadan go, my brother Muhammad? Excellent. Very, very nice Ramadan. Alhamdulillah. Such a nice experience. How did your Ramadan go, brother? I think you advised reading out loud when you mentioned... Okay. So that's my advice, yeah? Yeah, so carry on reading. I mean, you don't have to read out loud. As long as you're understanding it, then you don't need to read out loud. The idea of reading out loud is so your ears hear. This is for learning Arabic. So if you want to learn Arabic, you read it out loud so your ears hear. Can we read Quran for someone? I mean, I read someone else get the hasanat. Of course, inshallah. According to Hanafi madhab, it's fine. All types of haircuts are fine, yes, as long as it does not resemble a specific haircut of a different religion. Have you heard of Al-Jami' beside Usul Fiqh, Abdul Karim Namla? Yes, I've heard of it. I've just flicked through a few pages of it. I haven't kind of read it cover to cover. We used to get beads for our haircuts. I know. I don't know why that is. Is it permissible to mention other than Allah in ritual salat? To mention other than Allah? I don't understand, brother. What do you mean? Mufti Imran, friend, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. Can you read qada salat after asr or with asr? Yes, you can. Ya Allah. All right, guys. I am gonna call it a day, inshallah. Inshallah, I'm gonna call it a day. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday, inshallah. I will be tomorrow coming on, inshallah, live tomorrow. So not 9:45, inshallah, 9:45 in the evening, inshallah. And inshallah, if you have any questions or anything, then you can ask over there. Great lives as always. Alaikum assalam. Jazakallah khair. If sujood al-sahwi was wajib on the imam, but he didn't do it out of ignorance, forgetfulness, then is the prayer that follows valid? Yes. Also, Shaykh, what is the deadline of zakat al-fitr? You can give any time. What if it's like an intermediary book with 60-80% understanding? So once you understand that, then you don't have to read it aloud. I want you to start understanding it. The point of reading it aloud is to get your hearing. So you want to improve just generally, not that particular book. You just want to generally hear Arabic sentences and words as much as you can, so that you can. That's what it is. So reading it aloud, getting your ears to hear it. All these are to help you to perfect, fine tune your understanding of Arabic. That's what it is. So, that's the. To mention other than Allah, like to mention someone or something that is not Allah. Of course, we mention a lot of the times in Salat other than Allah in the Quran. In fact, you can read the Quran in Salat, which contains the names of Pharaoh, it contains the names of Iblis, but it doesn't mean we worship them. And if you're making dua as well, you can also mention someone's name as well. You're making dua to Allah, asking Allah to give someone cure, shifa, salad. Advice of the week is to not spread yourself too thin. So spreading yourself too thin basically means that you focus on too many things. Yeah. So in other words, if you focus on too many things, what's going to happen eventually is you're going to end up making yourself not here and not there. So what I would say is this: focus on something. Especially Alimiya students, ulama, they need to focus on something and focus as much as they can for as long as they can, and then move on to something else. So this sometimes by focusing on too many things, you spread yourself too thin. And I think this happened in the beginning when I graduated. I think I felt this. I felt I had to be good in this subject, and I had to be good in this subject, I had to be good in this subject, and I would read too many things that were very different. Over the years, slowly I learned to focus on one thing at a time. So alhamdulillah. So I think a lot of people need to remember that. You don't have to be good at everything. You don't have to be a Maulana and a Raqi and a dream interpreter and a Taweez maker and, a political analyst and, I don't know, someone who cures people's illnesses. And you don't have to do all that. Just focus on things which you are at that moment interested in and leave the rest, inshallah. Hijama. Yeah, some people some Maulanas into everything, mashallah, everything under the sun. I think the problem is people expect Maulanas to know everything about everything. Yeah, they need to know why are the birds flying like this in the sky today. Maulana should know. Why was Ramadan? Why was the moon in Ramadan like this today? Maulana should know. Is it true that Darulooms mainly teach Usul Hadith most theoretically without any actual practice of it? It depends on the teacher, isn't it? Depends on the teacher. Maybe in many of them they do. If you're watching the news and you feel lust towards a female presenter, am I sinful? Yes, you need to turn it off. Look away, turn it off. I already watch cartoons, so it's necessary for reading. In Salah, if I pronounce the word incorrectly, would my Salah be accepted? It depends exactly what word is. I want to be the best at everything. Sahih, qulta ayya shaykh, ahlan wa sahlan. Some are just all-rounders. Can't compare and expect same level. Yeah, I've never come across a Maulana who is good at everything. Right, honestly, I've never come across someone who's good at everything. I think it's not even practical. I think people exaggerate certain things. This guy's Hakimul Ummah. This guy he knows everything and all that. This guy's Shaykhul Islam, and those are all exaggerations, and it kind of misrepresents. Yeah, misrepresents. Any advice for Hajj based on your experience for first timers? My advice would be, if you're going with a group, make sure you try to utilize your time as best as possible. Don't waste your time. Everything that you do in the days of Hajj, make sure you focus your time in ibadah, in trying to perfect your salat, your recitation of Quran, all that, inshallah. So definitely, I would say what tends to happen usually is when you go for Hajj, you might go with some friends or something, and you end up, unfortunately, wasting time, not benefiting from the Hajj as much as you can. Like, since I'm already listening to Arabic in cartoons, is it necessary to read aloud? The reading out aloud gets your pronunciation good. Yeah. Remember, you don't just want to listen to one type of Arabic. You want to try and listen to different styles of Arabic. Some Maulana claim to be, Allah knows best. I'm just saying from my experience, guys. So please don't shoot the sheriff here. Don't shoot the messenger. What's the benefit of iftar? If the benefit of iftar is you become more trained in understanding how to access the Hanafi works. So if someone asks you a question, you know exactly where to look, which book to look in, and then when you find that text, you know how to interpret it. So sometimes you might have a particular masala. You might, like, for example, the sixth fast of Shawwal. Abu Hanifa in one report says that they're makruh to fast. So okay, we'll have to look in the books. Where does he say this? Which book is it in? You find in all the books, you find these statements, you put them all together, and you try to make sense of them. That's what iftar does. It trains a person. Yeah, so it trains a person. I wouldn't recommend iftar for everyone because, unfortunately, like I said earlier on, iftar is tough. It's not easy. It's not like alim course where you just make notes and you could. I've seen people who were the best in their class are making notes. When it came to iftar, they struggled a lot because it's not just passive learning; it's active. So you're training at the same time. So generally, I would say if you're interested in iftar, try to speak to other students who are doing iftar. Ask them their experience. They will tell you. Right. So if you want to do iftar with me, then definitely ask the students that studied with me or are studying with me. Ask them what they find. How do they find? How much hours they have to put in. Benefits of iftar for ladies, lots of benefits. Same benefits for men. How to focus better during salah? Any tips? Yes. Before you pray your salat, make sure you've done your wudu correctly, as in, you're not wasting water in the wudu, etc. And you read a bit of Quran before you pray. How do you do all 4 years in same time once a week? So the iftar course that I do, it's 4 years, but the way that it works is you have to complete 4 years. So whichever year you start in, you have to complete the 4 years. So it's like cyclic. So if you join in year 1, you do the year 1 book, then you do year 2 books, then year 3 books, year 4 books. If you join year 2, you do year 2 books, 3 books, 4 books, and you go to year 1 book. Yeah, so it's like cyclic. So after you finish 4 years, it's going to restart again 4 years like that. So you can join at any stage. It's like salat. You join rakat number 2, you join rakat number 3. It's like that. And then you have to have a certain number of fatwas you have to complete every year. If you don't complete them, and the assignments is every year, there's about 3 or 4 assignments you get. And there's also every week you'll get fatwas to answer, like that. It's not progressive. No, it's progressive. No, the books are different. So every year is different books. So progressive as in you are progressing, because the main thing in this iftar is you want to be able to be skilled at trying to answer questions. So you're not learning, like, it's not like Alimiya course where you learn the basics and then, like that, you progress in that way. But progression is more in the practice that you get. Yeah, progression is more in practice. Are injustices, i.e., theft against someone, forgiven when you do Hajj? Allah knows best. Injustice against other people will not be forgiven by anything except for asking them forgiveness. All right, guys, I am going to finish then. So take care, inshallah. Ya Allah. Jazakallah khair for your time and efforts. Remember sending your precious du'as. And you too, my brother Muhammad. Maybe then try to split reading into reading out aloud for ears then. Yeah, you can do that. The thing is, you'll understand yourself what you need to do. Over the time, you'll understand. Are you able to write Arabic? Can you write? Can you just like write about your day, write about an incident, write about something you've read in Arabic? How to pronounce Lord. Lord. Is iftar, go on a YouTube channel and type in how to pronounce Dad, they'll probably give you a better way. Is iftar about knowing Arabic well, or is it no? Yeah, so for iftar, you need to know Arabic very well. Yeah, you need to, as long as you know, it's like to go into medicine, you need to know English very well. If you don't know English and you go into medicine, you're going to struggle. Can women wear a hat in ihram? Yes, they can, as long as nothing is touching their face. Muhammad Fahim, alaikum assalam. Does anyone know of any book which discusses Masail related to Masjid al-Haram according to the Hanafi madhab, praying in shopping centers? I don't know. Modern books, you mean? I don't know. The classical books like the book of Manasik by Mullah Liqari. I can speak it with Arabs, but I don't write. You need to write them. All right, guys, take care, inshallah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.